This is Ben with IT&H. In this video, I'm going to touch on how to make a cut line for Rasterlink 6. You'll need a vector-based software like Adobe Illustrator, CorelDRAW, or Inkscape to do this. In this case, I'll be using Adobe Illustrator. Alright, so if we're working with Rasterlink and some sort of cutter, be it a print cut or a standalone cutter, and we wanted to cut out this object, we'll of course need a path for it to do so. Now, we could get into selecting the edge, but first we'll start with something simpler. Let's just draw a shape. Okay, now we have a rectangle that we could cut out. But right now it won't do anything but print a rectangle. So, first off, we're going to turn off the fill color, just to make life easier. Select the stroke color, right now black, and we're going to change that to something a bit more bright. I like to use things like bright pink and bright green just because they tend to stand out against your file. Now we have a nice green line going around here, which would be a cut line. Now, this colored line isn't going to do anything for us unless we designate it as a spot color. To do this, we're going to want to find our swatches. You can find this sometimes on your layout, but it might be in a different location for you versus me. So you can always go to Window, Swatches to bring this up. Now, once we have the Swatches panel up, I want to go to the little menu of the 3 bars in the top right here. I'm going to click it, and then click New Swatch. When you click this, a new window is going to pop up describing the color. And what we need to do here is change the color type from a process color to a spot color. When we do this, we go to the name and we enter Cut Contour 1. Now, Rasterlink can support up to 7 different cut contours in your file, so cut contour 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But in this case, we'll stick with 1. Once you've entered this and selected spot color, we'll click OK. At this point, if I were to save this out as a PDF or EPS, something that embeds vector data, and bring it into Rasterlink, it is going to automatically see a cut line. Just like this. It will generate your color file and pop up with a cut, already linked together. Now, a lot of you probably don't want to just cut a rectangle. So just to make an example of things, of how to do some actions for creating more precise lines, I'll show you what I would do to this shape. Now, since I'm working with a vector shape here, I have the option to at least be able to click on it and manipulate it. You can see this one's grouped up. So for those not familiar with Illustrator, all these objects are kind of linked together, but they all are individual objects that we can get inside and then start to move individual pieces. In this case, I want to access this baseline. Even more so, the biggest line in the background. The key is finding the object that has your outermost part of your shape. Once in here, I'm going to go down and find the stroke, and I'm going to make that a cut contour line. In this case, it's probably saved from just making it in the file earlier, so I can just select this, adding it to a stroke. Now you see that that green line is going around the perimeter of our file here, our image, I should say. Now, when we bring this over to the printer, it will print and then cut right along the edge, giving you a nice clean part to work with. Another option, of course, if you're working with a raster graphic, would be to draw your own with something like the pen tool. Not an easy process, but doable. Well, that's the basics of creating a cut line for Rasterlink 6. If you have any other questions or thoughts, take a look at some of our other videos.